Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Late Winner Show. We are now moving towards again the south of the border, or south of the country, as I should say. We're going to do a La Liga season preview today, talking about the Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, Atletico Madrid's, and all the other teams that are there, and what do we expect from them in the upcoming season. I have Akash Roy, Rohil, and Saurabh as our panelists for today. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Thank
Great
you.
to be here.
We do cover the crazy frenzy things which have been happening for the past couple of days in La Liga. So yeah, exciting
Yeah,
time.
I think it's been a packed up, frenzy or news frenzy, as I should say, in La Liga. Like, there's a lot of things going on. Obviously, Messi's departure definitely, is the blockbuster news. So, but let's not talk about Messi. Let's not start with our conversation with Messi. Let's start our conversation with Madrid. But before we start, let me tell you guys, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well, just to know what more content is coming up in the future, because we're planning to launch loads of new content that's coming up. So yeah, let's get started. I think Madrid, there's a given just what Barcelona's situation is. We haven't really, no one is really focusing on Madrid. Like, they've already sold Varane and Ramos to United and PSG respectively. They're letting go of their best players. Eden Hazard doesn't look even close to fitness. I think he came back into training when Ancelotti was there. I think again overweight or something. He was out of shape. What do you guys think in terms of season's expectations this time from Madrid? Like, do we have any realistic expectation? I know, like, Saurabh, me, and Rohil are Madrid fans. Let me start with you guys. But do you have any expectation this season, or you feel like anything in the top four this season is just a bonus for us?
Sorry, you want to start?
Saurabh, you want to start?
Okay, yeah, I can go. To be honest, I'm not very much sure what should I expect of the season. They have the transfer business that they have been doing is very surprising to me. Uh, they have all Eden Hazard is not performing well. Bale is, as you know, have been playing golf or is in Tottenham. But yeah, like the big money players that are there in the team have not been have not been the regular first team starters. When we talk about this, like the defense part, Marcelo is again not playing very regularly. He's been there, but not playing regularly. Now Varane, and like this is the biggest shock to me that Varane and Ramos both have been offloaded. I'm not sure how the defense will now step up. At least there was something like there were some senior players, experienced player who was there to support the team if if the forwards are not scoring goals, if the game is not going well. At least you're not conceding goals in that case. And Ramos, has been exemplary in the last season. He
Yeah.
scored a lot. He scored in the last 2 seasons, I must say, and he scored a lot of goals. He stepped up when there were not many goal scoring players in the team. So this seems to be a transitional phase for Real Madrid that has been going for past 2 years, I would say, since the departure of Ronaldo. There was one player around whom the game was always revolving around, but now that Benzema is there, but again, it doesn't feel like the game is revolving around him. It's they are more like they're more focused towards the youngsters, not necessarily from the academy. They are trying to sign players. There haven't been any marquee signings in the past couple of years, apart from Eden Hazard, like who again has not been playing much. He's definitely a failure at Real Madrid up till now. So I don't think they'll be winning the league this season. It's just like third or fourth. They will definitely finish in top four, but I'm not sure of the position. On basis of the turmoil that Barcelona is also going through, they are also in the transitional phase now, and especially with the main player Messi now being mostly going to PSG. they have to look for a player whom they can rely upon. Definitely, they have a good bunch of experienced player in their side, but as compared to Real Madrid. But I'm not sure. I don't have too many expectations from Real Madrid this season, to be honest, and for the next season also. It's a transitional phase. It's a rebuilding phase. It's time to give youngsters a little bit of experience. Not expect too much. Just the top four spot. That's good, and as long as they get to play in the Champions League, that should be the target for them.
So you mentioned that you don't have any expectations, and Eden Hazard's arrival hasn't brought anything to the club as of now, at least.
Yeah.
The other signing that they made in the start of the transfer window was David Alaba. I feel I feel like David Alaba and Militao are the way to go forward. I feel like those are the two centre back pairings that should be the face of Real Madrid in this next season at least. Royal, what do you think in terms of that signing, and do you think that it can probably bring some fruitfulness to Madrid? Just on the basis of that, their two most experienced centre backs who've been playing for the last 10 years together are nowhere in the are no more with them.
Yeah, I think that is definitely going to hamper this season a lot. They should have at least had one of the centre backs in the current lineup itself, so that they could actually so that the other player, like let's say David Alaba, who would be the other centre back, would have had time to actually adapt to the league and actually doesn't have to perform from the right from the first game itself. I mean, when you have one strong centre back at the other end, so you can there is a possibility where Alaba will be allowed to make mistakes. Right now, he doesn't have that. He has to be the leader of the squad in this situation which he is put in right now. Obviously, we cannot overlook the shambolic situation which is going on in the La Liga, which is probably the reason why Ramos could not be signed again. Even though Madrid is not openly being vocal about their financial issues, but we all know that they are also in equal disarray as much as Barcelona at this stage. They also are looking for ways to offload players and reduce their wage structure at this stage. I guess that is one of the biggest reasons why Varane and Ramos were let go in the one season itself. And now, even though Ancelotti has come back, we do not see any other signings coming in their way, because or any link ups as well, because they do not have the funds. So how are they going to eat? That's why there are no rumors also flying around at this stage. So I mean, yeah, I mean the expectations so far from the season can be nothing. I think let's just say as long as they keep on, we'll be happy if they finish second, because that's pretty much it where I expect them to go for. And as far as the centre back pairing which you mentioned, I think that is the way to go forward, and it's a good thing that. Maybe Madrid and Barca are going through the rebuilding phase at the same time, because I definitely like to see more of Atletico as well at the same stage, because they have been very consistent, and Diego Simeone has been very fruitful for the club, and not having like very high prolific players in their squad actually has helped them to retain most of their squad right now. Otherwise,
Yeah.
even we would have been seeing a lot of offloading going on in Atletico Madrid as well.
You know, you brought yeah. So I think that's well put. But Akash, let me just get your perspective, just based on like you're not a Madrid fan, but from a Barcelona perspective, do you feel like are you content with what Madrid is doing?
As a Barcelona fan, I would appreciate how
Yeah.
Florentino Perez has thus handled the situation. You may hate a lot of things about Florentino Perez, but you have to appreciate the no nonsense tolerating side and the cynical side of it, because he is very shrewd in terms of
Hmm.
progressing his club. First of all, when you compare the two clubs, Barcelona had, shot themselves in the foot courtesy of Bertomeu, and Joan Laporta just inherited the club at a mess. And a lot of people will say they had multiple options to explore, but at the end of the day, if you're thinking about the long sustainability and thinking about the club, not for selfish motives to retain Lionel Messi, but to think solely on the perspective of the club, you are going to let a superstar go for ensuring that you remain safe in the longer period of time, though everything is a shamble anyway. But
Yeah.
what Madrid did was they had planned their rebuild of Santiago Bernabeu that costed around 600 million euros, and doing that they already lost 600 million of their budget. Additional to that, when COVID pandemic hit, as off guard they were again struck with a 300 million euros financial loss, which amounts to 900 million if you count both the sides of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can match the numbers. You can see this a similar number has been developing in the Santiago Bernabeu as well, closer to a billion. What Madrid did exceptionally was Perez had this strong idea that any player over the age of 30 would not get much extension of 4 years, because you have to then stick around with that particular player even if he is injury prone. So they had that strict policy of only offering 1 year extensions to any player of any caliber. That's why you see a lot of superstars leave being agitated at that, and Ramos is one prime example. The terms couldn't meet at a
Be agreed.
certain stage. Yeah, so that happened. I think that's a very good policy if you are thinking for the club. Again, what Real Madrid did last season was they cut off. They had budget cuts earlier. They sensed the danger to not be in a similar situation as Barcelona. They just sensed it earlier and they just let go of players like Hakimi. They let go of Reguilon. They loaned out players to Arsenal, like
Odegaard.
Ceballos. Then then Gareth Bale went to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Odegaard came to Arsenal. They had all those of things sorted out. They got the best they can get out of a Messi situation, and they got rid of their wages, which has been a prolonged malignant problem for Barcelona, because they couldn't get rid of their astronomical wages. They have to pay the wage of players like Pjanic, Coutinho. uh, Anthony Griezmann's payment structure is an astronomical one, which increases every year on an incremental basis. So those are the things that I really like about Real Madrid, because yeah, they are in mess. You don't expect them to win the La Liga because Atletico Madrid has kept their core intact, but at the same time you don't see them perishing and being in a rotten state like Barcelona is doing right now. Even they lost their premier superstar when none of this problem existed, but they have taken that boldly, and that bold approach has paid off, because they have won one La Liga after that. They have been good, comparatively well, and even after Sergio Ramos is leaving, I see this team will bounce back in a year or two. But
Okay.
Barcelona, it's a very topsy-turvy curve for them.
Sticking with just Madrid and the center backs, we mentioned that Ramos and Varane are no more with the club. Even last year, Ramos did not play a lot of the games. Even Varane was a lot more like for the most of the season he was injured. So even in at that moment, Militao and I think Nacho were the ones who were filling up the role. I again, it doesn't feel like United. It doesn't feel like Real Madrid are missing a lot more. United, man, why am I saying United? Real Madrid, Real Madrid are missing their pieces. I feel like David Alaba will come into the team, and he's definitely the class apart center back that if you're talking about a direct replacement of Ramos, I think he definitely integrates into the team as soon as he's put into the team, right? But so and then what do you guys feel about Carlo Ancelotti? Like, yes, Madrid is in shambles, or Madrid does not have their players, but talking about talking about their team, I think Barcelona, in comparison to Barcelona, they have their team intact from last season. Yes, their two center backs have gone back, but they last season also they did not play that much. So how much do you think that Carlo Ancelotti will play a role in Madrid season, because he definitely was the person who got their La Decima, their long-awaited La Decima 6-7 years ago. So what do you think? What do you think Ancelotti will bring to the club?
Um, so I think as you've seen in the previous times with Ancelotti in 2012, 2013, 2013,
Hmm.
he actually connects with the players a lot. He gave chances to, at that time, like Isco was playing. Bale was playing regularly in his team at that time. So I believe those players like who have lately been out of favor from Zidane's squad, like Marcelo was not a regular starter. Isco definitely. Bale, we all know what the situation was. So those players who take who actually occupy a big chunk of wages for Real Madrid will come into play again with Ancelotti, because he's not getting that overhaul of a team, not a big budget to spend around. And I think that was the most crucial factor that why he was brought back into Real Madrid. Um,
Hmm.
there was link ups with the likes of Antonio Conte, with Allegri as well. But for those, they don't have experience with Real Madrid. They are not a proven. They have not been the manager at Real Madrid, so not a success at Real Madrid definitely. So they would have definitely tried to overhaul and would have needed a budget. But as Akash mentioned, that many of the clubs at this point are in a financial shambles. So Carlo Ancelotti seemed to be the best bet. The good thing that he's coming at this point is when Ancelotti was the manager, Zidane was his assistant coach, and they have most of a similar mindset because Zidane has learned from the former, and he has when Ancelotti was there, he used to play a 4-3-3 formation, which Zidane has been playing like in like 60 or 70% of the games in the last season or last couple of seasons. Uh, Ancelotti at Everton is a different thing. We should definitely not talk about. It's a different league. It's a different set of players that you're playing with. So
Hmm.
he has not been very consistent with the 4-3-3 formation. It's a 4-1-4-1, 4-2-3-1. Those kind of, he has experimented a lot with Everton. But I think coming back here, Ancelotti will, if he just needs a connection with the players. Otherwise, players have been, if he takes up the 4-3-3 formation, players will be very settle in the position that they play and put in good performances for the team very early on, as I expect. Because when the formation changes, the playing style changes, the set of players that you're playing with changes. So that should not be much of an issue with Carlo Ancelotti. And with Carlo Ancelotti, we have seen results at Real Madrid before. So we expect the same in in this year also, next year also. Like we want Florentino Perez wants a trophy from Ancelotti this season. That's it. He definitely wouldn't have guaranteed a Champions League or the La Liga for that matter also, but a trophy, a rebuilding that is going in a positive direction should be Florentino Perez should be content with it, I think.
I think that's well put. But let's move the conversation to Barcelona. I think obviously Messi's departure has left a very big hole at Barcelona. I don't really see obviously anybody who can replace him. And even last season, when you saw, uh, you know, when Messi wasn't like when Messi had his transfer rumor going on, he did not play in the first 3 or 4 games, and Barcelona were really bad. They have signed a couple of players. I think Depay and Aguero. And I feel like the way Depay carried Olympic Lyon last season, I feel like he can take that role where everything runs through them. And even if you look at Netherlands, everything runs through him, and he's good at it. He has become a really good player. Do you think that Barcelona are okay with not having Messi? Obviously that's a very wrong question, but obviously that's a sure answer that is going to be a yes. But do you think that Depay can take that place of Messi and at least carry the team towards the challenging of La Liga? Or do you think that it's all like as Saurabh mentioned for Madrid? Do you think that it's just a top four finish? That's something that Laporta or Barcelona board would be expecting this season. Akash, let's start with you.
I would say, the holes that have been left behind by Lionel Messi, it's not possible to fill that void in nearly half a decade. So, what Koeman has to do right now is step up. Obviously, he wasn't expecting any such major challenge to be put in front in his second season, which he was begging for and was so confident to deliver the results. But now the dynamics have changed, and he needs to do what with what he has. But considering the start to this season, they have had some fantastic signings in the form of Aguero, Memphis Depay, Eric Garcia, all for free.
Yeah.
So and they also got in Emerson Royal, who has been doing great in Real Betis. Great aspects to go on. Last season, I felt Koeman was being ignorant when he chose to reduce Ricky Puig, who has been fantastic the season prior. He reduced him to a bench role, and that was very harsh from him. I didn't understand. Many fans didn't understand the point of it. But again, in the preseason friendly, we saw Ricky Puig get those minutes and prove yet again that he didn't deserve his place on the bench. He's a very interesting prospect. I think the closest that Barcelona can get to an Andreas Iniesta is in Ricky Puig, and if you don't treat those traits of La Masia right, you're not going to get the player that he is accustomed to become. So there are lot of fresh faces at Barcelona at this time. It's a very interesting time because without injury, Ousmane Dembele can be a star. Ansu Fati is already a brilliant player. Then you have Frankie De Jong, who is a baller. You still have Sergio Busquets there. You have Pedri, who is a workhorse, works more than anybody in Europe. Then you have Ricky Puig. On the defensive side, you have Araujo, you have Mingueza, you have Pique, you still have Pique, you have Longley,
Okay.
you have Jordi Alba, and in the goalkeeping department, yes, Ter Stegen has been not been the very best as we are used to see him, but in the last 2 seasons he has been rather underwhelming. But with an addition of a goalkeeper and selling Neto, I think things can improve and they can at least go to the quarterfinal stages of the UCL and obviously be the top three teams in La Liga. There is no doubt about it.
I think I completely agree with you. I think Messi departure is definitely something really, really big, and they're going to miss probably not winning the title, but I feel like they can. I feel like they're going to be in the mix, and I'm not like I don't have really too much confidence on Atletico or Sevilla to just run away with the league title, and with Madrid and Barcelona just being lagging behind in the third and fourth position. I don't see that happening. They have their problems, and we'll get to that later. But I can surely see. I can surely see, Barcelona being in the title contention. Not winning it, that's a different question, but they can definitely be in the title hunt like they were in the last season. Anything, sort of, do you feel otherwise? Like, do you feel like Barcelona are just not there where we expect them to be?
No, no, I totally agree with what two of you have pointed. I totally concur with it. No different opinions. I don't think they would. They definitely have a good set of players, as Akash mentioned. But the core strength that Atletico has maintained for the past couple of seasons, I think they should run away with the title. It's for them to lose. Uh, last year also, Barcelona and Real Madrid were not doing at all good, like as compared to like initial phases with Atletico. But still, they had a phase. Atletico had a phase where they dropped a lot of points, and in fact, they were sitting like third on the table, I believe.
Yeah.
Barcelona and Real Madrid were ahead of them, so that was pretty surprising. If they can avoid that phase that generally comes with Atletico, they should easily run away with the title, especially for this year and next season also. I believe it's for them to lose. It's not for us to win. It's for them to lose only. So yeah, but yeah, not much to add on it. It's very clear that you and Akash are point.
Okay. So, talking about Atletico, let's move our discussion to the third team, Atletico Madrid. There have no squad changes, but there have been rumors where players have been linked to other teams. Let's say Trippier and Saul Niguez, or even Carrasco has been, I think, linked to Inter Milan. I don't remember. If the projected transfer rumors go and happen, do you think that they are still the title favorites? And if they don't happen, do you think that they are the clear title favorites to win this season? Rohil, do you think that that's a chance for Atletico Madrid? Because with the best cities, they have the best goalkeeper in the world right now, and they have probably their top three strikers in the world right now in the name of Luis Suarez. So do you think that they have they are the title favorites this season?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, look, with the performances they gave last season, they should have run away with the title last season itself. But
Mhm.
after January, come January, they really butchered their campaign and made it a
Made a mess.
bigger deal than it should have been. They should have wrapped it up by March or maybe in the beginning of April itself, because they had a sizable lead at that point. I think they'll have the same. They should have, and now this season they have more expectations, I believe, because of the situation of Barcelona and Madrid. So I think let's see how they
Yeah.
handle the situation, because they usually are the underdogs, but this year they are not the underdogs. They are. I mean, even if you want to dismiss it or not, but I think they are the favorites to win this season. It's not Barcelona or Madrid who will be. They are definitely the ones who are being who will be considered as the underdogs this season. I do not think that you can say that Barcelona and Madrid are the clear favorites this season to go ahead and have a title fight like we usually see. This year, it's all about Atletico Madrid and how they actually handle that pressure of being the clear favorites and playing the carefree football which they can, because they know that I don't think Barcelona or Madrid have the capacity at this. Sevilla definitely could be the dark horse in this title fight. They could. They have been. They were very consistent this year. For the last season, but I think they can. They have a few areas where they need to definitely improve their game. The Hopefully we will have at least a couple of teams fighting, not just one team race in this year's La Liga itself. But yeah, I think Simeone should be fairly confident about his abilities in his team to retain the title.
Okay. I mean, I know you guys are mentioning that they are the title favorites. I feel like it's all going to be very messy come, May. I feel like at least 4 to 5 teams, I believe, are going to be in title contention like we had last season, because I don't have any confidence in Madrid or Barcelona or Atletico as a matter of fact that they are going to be as consistent as they were in the start of the season. They have their patches where if nothing works, it just doesn't work. Like you could see when they were struggling in domestically, how bad of a performance even they had against Chelsea, when everyone was expecting just before, I think just after the draws came out, that they were going to run away against Chelsea.
Mm.
So that's, I mean, that's something that I think about.
But
Let's throw.
one thing you just one thing I think you missed. You said that Atletico had not made any signings this season, right? But there is one that Atletico did of Rodrigo De Paul
Yeah,
from Udinese on a 5-year contract. Like
yeah,
if you guys have seen the Copa America, he was exceptional in Copa America for Argentina. So
yeah.
that is
No, no,
one good signing that Atletico did, and they did it the very next year, like in 2 days after whatever the Copa America result, after Argentina won. So that is a very good signing. That is definitely a thing that will bolster the team. So yeah,
yeah.
but definitely the Atletico are the favorites this season.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, Atletico are the favorites, but to to say that they're going to run away with the title, I don't believe with that statement. I think there are other teams who can definitely tip them. And yeah, I mean, let's throw another title contender that I feel at least who are going to be in contention this season. I think Sevilla are definitely the ones that can definitely see that this might be the year that they can win something. Lopetegui, I think he left the Spain job when he was appointed just before the World Cup, I think, to take up the Madrid job, and then obviously had a very very bad season at Madrid where he got sacked. I think mid-season again. I think replaced by Zidane in that season as well. He had a very good season at Sevilla in his first season. He won the Europa League. He was very good domestically last season. And then there is this swap deal that happened between Brahim Gill and Lamela. So now there's more attacking talent that has been added to Sevilla side with all the other names that they already have. Do you think that this is the year that they leapfrog the Spanish giants? And I'm talking specifically about Madrid and Barcelona.
I think they can. They like we mentioned, and but again, this year it's not that easy to predict how the big teams are going to perform. Obviously, we're talking mostly about Madrid and Barca in that context. But let's see. I'm very skeptical of how Sevilla does. Now that Lamela is in the squad, I think Lamela has been very good with Spurs. He has the game which could actually be which he could express more freely, or in a league like in the Spanish league. So I think he could definitely be a he is definitely a good addition now that they've also lost Brian Gill in the process. So I think Lamela could definitely try and fill in the shoes, and maybe give the team the speed in the wings which they need at this stage.
Anybody has any other different thoughts on Sevilla?
For Sevilla, I think they again with the condition that Barca and Real are, it's a good time for any team that is in the top 5, top 6 in the past couple of seasons, and Sevilla has been there to at least if not challenge for the title, finish second or third in the league, because they will not get a better opportunity anytime soon. And they also, I don't think they have sold any of the players in recent while. Definitely there have been link up of Jules Kondo, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, with Chelsea, and he has been he has been a rock at he's been a rock formation in the team for past couple of seasons. That's why he's one of the top one of the top sought after players. But Sevilla should definitely, I think, for me, first Atletico should be the first, and second should be Sevilla. That Sevilla should finish second. They have been playing really good, and the set of players that they have also, there is Olivier Torres and Acuna who is there, and I think if I'm correct, Paco Alcacer is also there. No, or is he in
No, Villarreal.
Villarreal. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, but they have a good set of players. I'm just forgetting about a couple of names, but
Campos.
Sorry.
Campos.
Then
Campos,
Ivan
yes.
Rakitic.
Rakitic is again, like, he's I think 33, 34 already. So I'm not sure how regular he'll be playing in the team. But Munir is also there. Munir is also a good player.
I think you're forgetting Yusuf El Nasiri. I think he's been their most prolific striker at Sevilla.
Yeah, actually. So I think Sevilla definitely has a chance here to capitalize on the situation that the whole league is in currently, and finish as high as possible, and if possible challenge Atletico for the title as well. We are not sure how Atletico will perform being the favorites to win the La Liga. That's a different situation. Like until now they were underdog, now they are the favorites, so that can take a toll on Atletico. But it's Sevilla are the second best choice for me, that they can finish the league on the second position. So yeah.
And I feel like they are going to get one trophy at least, because obviously they had an underwhelming season at the Champions League last season. So they are already going to be third in the Champions League and then win the Europa League. Because they're probably the king of Europe, obviously the king of the Europa League. Now I'm going to move that conversation over there. He is working at Villarreal at this moment. Nobody would have thought what he did last season to get the Europa League trophy. But obviously, if you cannot doubt Unai Emery when he plays in the Europa League. I think he has the most talent to get most out of his team when they play in the Europa League. I think it's just some kind of a intuition he has that what he needs to do, and everything just turns to gold when he plays in the Europa League. I think they went unbeaten in Europe. I think last season, I think they went 1-10 and drawn 1, and I think that was against Arsenal in the away fixture. They had mixed results domestically. But what Unai Emery has done is it has brought a lot more attacking talent. I think they scored the fourth most number of goals in La Liga last season, and an addition of Juan Foyth and Boulaye Dia. And Juan Foyth's loan deal has been made permanent from Spurs. this season. You know, they I think they play in the Champions League this season, but I don't really have any hopes from them in the Champions League for sure. Do you feel that they have the team this season to challenge, not challenge, but to be in that, you know, top four contention spot domestically? Because obviously they had very mixed bag of results in the last season. But do you feel like the additions that they've made here and there in the squad, do you feel like they have the squad to challenge
But
for the top four position?
but their core team is still the same. They have the
Still the
same
same.
intact. So I mean, they're not very huge changes which they made through the signings. I mean, they have a couple of players coming here or there for like maybe 10, 15 million players. I think one of them was from Spurs. I don't remember his name, but there was one signing from Spurs, which
Juan Foyth. Juan Foyth.
so I mean they're like here they're like not very big signings which Unai Emery has made. I mean again obviously I don't think any club in the La Liga actually has the strength to actually improve or has the funds to actually improve their squads this season. They're all just trying to survive their seasons with their owners and just maybe next season where they can actually start investing again, because now that you'll have the crowds coming in into the ground, I believe even in La Liga you'll have the crowds coming back into the stadiums, right? So you definitely see a little bit more of revenue coming in. So hopefully that will help the clubs inject with more cash. But yeah, I guess but they have one of the biggest Spanish strikers in their team, which is Gerard Moreno. So I think he could, if he actually has a good season, we could definitely see them with in the top four. And I guess like I mentioned, like it could definitely help them. And let's see what happens. I mean, again, it's a very tough prediction to make, and on what position they'll be finishing. Obviously, I think top five. They should not expect anything less than top five. That should be their goal, because they are the top five club in La Liga. So they should be able to finish in the top five. But I don't know if they'll be able to leapfrog Barca and Madrid at this stage.
Okay. You know, and one more team that I would like to talk about is obviously Granada. I think they have had really good seasons in the past couple of seasons. I think and now they've signed it. I think they've signed Carlos Baca on a free transfer. Monchu from Barcelona, I think they've signed on a free transfer. Luis Abraham has also signed as a centre back on a free transfer. And but the departures are the one that, you know, make me a little bit uneasy or a little bit, you know, scared for them, because they I think Rui Silva left. Kennedy, who was on loan from Chelsea, Jesus Vallejo, who was on loan from Real Madrid. Those are the players that, you know, were very influential in their last couple of seasons when they at Granada. And obviously their new coach has come in as well, Robert Moreno. Do you think that they can, you know, probably stay in the top half of the league, or do you feel like it's bound that they go back where they, you know, go back into the lower into the second half of the table? Akash, do you have any thoughts on them?
I think it is always a challenge for those teams that you're speaking about, Villarreal, Granada, to actually go into the top six hierarchy, because there are teams, whenever Real Madrid and Barcelona is not even performing well, there are teams who elevate their game to gain those prominent spots which open up for them, because European competitions land a lot of revenues for this club which are directed towards the sustainability of the club. So I don't think this particular club such as Granada is going to benefit from a few of their signings, as you mentioned. The players that leaves with the, you know, team chemistry, and it really impacts a team like that. Of course, even cracking it to the top half of the table and being a 10th side, even that does benefit their side like Granada. I don't personally see it. I think they will finish like 14th, 12th to 14th, somewhere around that area,
Okay.
because it's gonna be tough, because there is, again, we can't forget teams like Valencia, Real Betis, Celta Vigo,
Sociedad.
who are,
Sociedad.
yeah, Sociedad, of course. How can I forget them? I mean, they have the potential to, you know, fill up the spots until the 10th position. Then even if this team play some games well, take charge of them, they can very well be in the top 10, but highly looks like an improbability at this moment.
And you mentioned about Sociedad. Obviously, do you want to touch on them a little bit? Obviously, they've had a very good season last season as well. I think they play again in the Europa League. I don't remember exactly, but I think they finished fifth in the league last season, right? Do you feel like they
Out,
have
out
they
of
have
the
this?
out of the teams that we have spoken thus far, I mean the lower teams, I think Real Sociedad has been building for a long time with the inculcation of
Yeah,
David Silva. They had uh, Odegaard on loan. They have a good squad. They have a good squad, but somehow I don't know what the stars don't align for them, and they miss out on big opportunities at times, which is again very tough for the club. Talking about Villarreal, I missed out on that train, but Villarreal played against us in a preseason game. Within
hmm
50 minutes, they conceded 3 goals, and as such, if you compare it against the lineup against Manchester United, there were not significant changes made. Except
yeah,
from Vincent Tibora, the team almost remained the same. But if you are getting handled 3-0 by 51st minute, and then you are frustrated to that level when you take out the other opponent's center half in such a brutal fashion, and then Leicester loses its interest to play the game, and then you just concede, the fouls don't get called, offsides don't get called in a friendly game. I think it's not the right set of attitude to have an outlook towards the top six position. I think Villarreal is gonna be like an eighth place team in this La Liga.
and sorry, eighth place team you said.
Yeah.
Eighth place. Okay, okay. Anybody has different thoughts on Villarreal or Granada?
So, Rohit, you want to go?
No, no, go ahead. I mean, yeah, I already mentioned. Like, I think I believe like Villarreal should be going for the top five or top six spot because I think they have the squad, and I think Unai Emery has the managerial knowledge or experience to actually push them into the top five. And I think this is a season where they can actually come back into into the top six and start establishing themselves again, because now that Madrid and Barca are in a rebuilding phase, they could definitely pull, not even only like maybe just pull a point against them, they can actually definitely get wins against them, at least in their home games. So yeah, I mean, right now I think they can, but with Granada, I definitely do not think they'll be in the top 10. They'll be like the top 13, maybe like they'll finish maybe 11 to 13th or 14th, yeah, like Akash
Yeah,
mentioned. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I don't think they'll
yeah,
be in the top 10.
yeah. I think I feel the same about Granada, just based on the players that they have, they don't have now, like, because a lot of the core of the team was built around those loanies that I just mentioned. They're no longer there, and again the coach has changed. Vision will obviously change. The style of play will obviously change. So I don't really see them in the top half of the table this season. But we can sit here and talk about the other 14 sorry 13 or 12 teams that are remaining in La Liga for another hour or so. But I think we just need to touch on like the main teams that are going to be challenging for something. Obviously, Valencia is one of them. Who are having a lot of crisis in terms of financial struggles, and I hope that they don't have the season that what Schalke did in Bundesliga. It's sad to see Schalke leave Bundesliga, and it would be sad to see Valencia leave the La Liga if they get relegated. They are in a lot of financial crisis at this moment. But we leave it at that. I just quickly, if you want to give us the predictions of the top four or top five, who do you think is from one, two, three, four?
For me,
And
Atletico would
anybody
be
can start. Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Yeah, for me, Atletico should be first. Second and third is like would be between Real and Barca ultimately. Uh, fourth would be Sevilla. Uh,
would be
but again,
Sevilla.
they can start up their game. Fourth, but still, I see them in the finishing in the fourth position, and fifth, I think Real Betis or Villarreal. Yeah, it's a very close competition between them also. But yeah, I'll go with Villarreal. Yeah, for fifth.
Yeah, I
Rohit,
think
yeah.
I'll go with, Atletico as the title as the champions for this season again. I'll let's spice things up and say okay, Sevilla will be the second team, and obviously I cannot put Barca over Madrid, but I think it could go either way for both of them. I
Yeah.
actually do not have a lot of predictions, but in terms of the squad signings, I think Barca definitely has the strength to actually finish in the third position ahead of Madrid at this stage. The squad looks more poised and more balanced at this stage as well, even with Messi's departure. And I think Messi's departure, even though people might hate me on saying this, but it is going to be probably a blessing in disguise, because when players like Messi around whom the team is usually built, when they leave, the team actually steps up. The whole team steps up and they start playing as a unit once again, and they start performing. And that's exactly what we saw when Ronaldo left Madrid. We saw Madrid as a team rather than just an individual prolific player performing outright throughout the season. I think that is exactly what we'll see with Barcelona as well, and hopefully we see the Barcelona which we are used to with Messi, which it was. So we'll definitely. I think it could be an interesting and a very challenging season for them.
Yeah. Akash, for you, Barca wins the title.
I would say, my heart believes Barca would win the title only because of the fact that Memphis Depay is an exceptional talent when he is
Yeah.
playing well. For Manchester United, it didn't click, but he's in that zone, and if that zone can be capitalized by Coman, I think that is red hot. So it's a massive advantage. I don't expect such things from Aguero. He will be a rotational player, but Barcelona will still have Antoine Griezmann to back him up. So I would say a bold outtake, but I'm going to predict that Barcelona finishes first, followed by Atletico Madrid, third Real Madrid, because they are not making any signings and they're going to cut the squad more because Ancelotti has made it clear that he doesn't want certain set of players. They will only increase the redundancy, so he wants them out to loans or potentially for a transfer. And as a fourth team, I think Sevilla is pretty strong.
I'm going to make a very bold statement and say probably Atletico wins the title for me, but Sevilla finishes second, Barcelona third, and Real Madrid fourth. As you mentioned, it pains me to put Real Madrid below Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, but I completely agree with Akash. Like with the additions that they have, I mean the additions that they have not brought in, I feel like they are going to struggle a lot this season.
If Perez watches this video, he'll be scandalized and he might sack Ancelotti just before the start of the season based on the position prediction that we have given.
No, but that's. I mean, I think it's all part of the fun. It's predictions. You don't never know. We never
Yeah, definitely.
expected Madrid to be in the title fight last season. Obviously, it was Atletico more than Real Madrid getting in the title race. So it was more like Atletico gave us a chance to get back into the title race. So that's it. I think great talking with you guys on La Liga. I think great good a deep analysis on the top teams that we expect something from them in this upcoming season. Don't forget La Liga starts next Saturday on August 14th. So do stay tuned for that, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as well. Go ahead and give us some likes, give us some subscribers, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter to get some more awesome news content that we're going to bring out. One thing that we'll mention is about the FPL is we are going to launch our own FPL show this Tuesday. So you can see the code below. Please go ahead and join the league. There are no prizes, as I repeatedly mentioned. There are no prizes. It's just for fun. Maybe in the future, if we get more players, next season we might have some giveaways or some cash prizes to give away. But yeah, do not if you do play the Fantasy Premier League, please go ahead and join our league code as well. Again, I thank Akash, Saurabh, and Rohil for joining us, and see you really really soon.